Jonathan Reed, the visionary CEO of Sterling Dynamics, walked into one of his company's busiest branches dressed in modest clothes. No tailored suit, no chauffeur, no entourage, just a man blending into the background. He wanted to see the truth behind the polished smiles. At the reception desk, Eric Dawson, a new staff member still drunk on the little authority his badge gave him, looked up with narrowed eyes. His smirk was instant. "You don't belong back here," Eric said coldly, his tone dripping with disdain. Jonathan's calm voice carried weight. "I only asked for directions." Eric leaned forward, his arrogance unmasked. "People like you don't usually matter here. Better wait outside where you belong." The lobby air froze. A few employees shifted uncomfortably, some lowering their gaze, unwilling to witness what prejudice always looked like when it thought it held power. Jonathan studied him quietly, every insult bouncing off years of resilience. Then footsteps echoed. Caroline Hayes, the branch manager, descended the stairs. Her face brightened instantly. "Mr. Reed, what an honor to see you here." Eric's smirk collapsed. His voice trembled. "Miss Reed? He's the CEO?" Jonathan's eyes locked onto his. Respect shouldn't depend on a title. If you can't give it freely, you don't deserve to wear Sterling's name. Caroline's voice cracked like a whip. "Eric, clear your desk. Sterling Dynamics will never carry the stain of prejudice." The silence that followed spoke volumes. If this story gripped you already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. More powerful lessons are on the way. Eric's face burned as he gathered his belongings under the quiet stares of his co-workers. The same people who once laughed at his crude jokes now avoided his eyes, as if his arrogance had left a foul stench in the air. Each click of his pen into a box sounded like a nail in the coffin of his short-lived career. Caroline's voice echoed from the hall. "Prejudice has no desk here. Sterling Dynamics is built on respect. Remember that." Her words weren't just for Eric, they were a warning to everyone watching. By the time Eric reached the parking lot, humiliation sat heavy on his chest. His phone buzzed relentlessly, missed calls from Leah, his girlfriend. He finally answered, his voice small. "What happened?" Leah demanded. "Why did your manager call me in tears saying you disrespected their CEO?" Eric tried to explain. "I didn't know it was him. I just thought—" "Thought what?" Leah snapped. "That a man's worth is measured by his skin? Do you realize what you've done to us?" Her words cracked something inside him. He wanted to argue, but shame strangled every excuse. For the first time, he saw himself clearly. A man who let hate cost him more than a paycheck. As Leah's silence grew heavier, Eric whispered, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." But it already had. If this moment struck you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Days turned into weeks, but Eric's shame lingered like a shadow he couldn't escape. He scrolled through Sterling Dynamics' website late at night, watching photos of Jonathan Reed standing proudly with employees of every background. Smiling faces, unified voices, a company thriving without him. One evening, Eric met his old friend Mark at a diner. Mark had worked at Sterling for years and didn't mince words. "You know, Eric," he said, stirring his coffee, "everyone talks about that day. They don't remember you as a worker. They remember you as the guy who insulted his own CEO because of skin color." Eric's chest tightened. "I didn't know it was him." Mark leaned forward. "That's the point. Respect isn't about who someone is, it's about who you are." At home, Leah had grown distant. Dinner conversations turned into silence. She finally spoke one night, tears welling in her eyes. "I can't build a life with someone who tears others down. Do you understand the pain you've caused? To them, to me, to yourself?" Her words pierced deeper than Jonathan's rebuke ever had. Eric sat there, broken, realizing he had lost more than a job. He was losing love, respect, and his place in the world. Alone in the quiet, he whispered to himself, "One moment," and I threw it all away. If this part hit you hard, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Months later, Eric sat in his nearly empty apartment, bills stacked high on the table. The walls felt smaller every day, his life shrinking as quickly as his pride. Job applications went unanswered. Sterling Dynamics rejection followed him like a stain no resume could hide. One afternoon, he ran into Caroline at a charity event he wasn't invited to, but had stumbled near. She stood at Jonathan Reed's side, surrounded by community leaders, shaking hands with warmth and respect. Eric froze at the sight. Jonathan laughing, employees embracing him, a company rooted in dignity, thriving stronger than ever. Caroline's eyes flicked to Eric. Her voice was calm, but it cut through him. You had a chance to be part of this, but you chose hate instead of respect. Eric lowered his gaze, words tumbling out in a broken whisper. I lost everything over one moment. Jonathan, steady as ever, looked at him once. No, Eric, you lost everything over a mindset. Then he turned back to the crowd, leaving Eric drowning in his own silence. Back home, Eric stared at his reflection in a cracked mirror. Leah was gone. His friends had distanced themselves, and his name was remembered only for arrogance. His empire of pride had crumbled into dust. Meanwhile, Jonathan's legacy stretched higher, not built on money or fear, but on respect that united people. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. More powerful lessons are on the way.